So today's topic is introduction about ASP.NET Core MVC. Before I go and talk about ASP.NET Core MVC, let me talk about what is software. Anyone can tell me what is a software application? What is a software application? Anyone, whatever you know, you can speak. You guys are every day handling with applications, right? Say yes or no. I want you guys to be interactive so that the momentum will go fast. Can you all try to unmute yourself and speak? Whatever you know, you can speak. Let's go with the interactive session. Okay? Anil, Ishwar, everybody. So what is software application? Why do you need a software application? Application is nothing but is a set of rules. Application is a set of rules to be built using any programming language. Will you all agree this point? Example, calculator is their application. Without a calculator, you will have any application in your system. By default, there is a software called calculator. Paint, it is also an application. MS Word is also an application. All these applications should behave as expected. We need to write certain logics. You got my point? Let's take an example of application of calculator. See, this is your calculator. I want to perform addition. Do I need to logic or I can leave as it is? Do I need to build a logic for this or not? Say yes or no. Guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have to speak. Definitely you need to build a logic for plus, minus, everything, right? So when you build a logic, to build logics, what do you need? To build logics, what do you need to learn? To build logic, we need to learn programming language. You got my point? With the help
Yes,
of
sir.
TL, we can design and develop. We can design and develop applications. Now you all understand? To develop any application, I need programming language. It could be your C#, it could be your Java, it could be your .NET. C#, .NET or Java or Python or any other programming language you need it to learn. That is your first point. Now come back to the second point. Second point is different types of application. Different types of application. What are the different types of applications you are aware of it? Can anyone tell me? What are all the different types of application we know? Come on.
Windows, web application.
Come again?
Application, mobile application, window application.
There are four different types of applications. One is command prompt application. Command prompt application. This is your first application when anybody start programming. Am I right or wrong? In C#, will you use console.writeline? Say yes or no? If somebody knows C#.NET, they will use console.writeline. Somebody knows Java, they will use system.out.println. Those are called as this command prompts. Okay. To execute anything in this command prompt, I can build a command prompt application. See, this is also an application. I'm providing a command. Those are called as DOS commands. I got my point. To develop this application, you require a programming language. It will not work on its own. You need to write a logic behind it. You understand my point? So this is called command prompt application. The second application is Windows application. What is Windows application? Come on, what is Windows application? The application which has an user interface. The application which has an user interface, we are going for Windows application. You got my point? This is the application. I know what to click, what not to click. See, if I go here, I say scientific, I'll get a scientific calculator. If I go here, I click a standard, I'm getting a standard calculator. Is it a graphical user interface or not? By seeing the UI, you are able to understand what is the purpose of this application. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody. Srinivas, Venugopal.
Yes,
Venugopal
yes.
Reddy. Right? So, this is called Windows application. Now, sir, tell me, these two applications will be for a single computer or multiple computer?
Single computer.
Why?
Single.
Why? Why it is single computer? Why not it will be a multiple computer? Think about it. These applications are called as the application will be installed in one computer, cannot be accessed by any other computer. Any other computer is known as what? What is the type of application it is? Desktop or stand-alone application. What is the application it is? Desktop or stand-alone application. Any application will be run on a particular machine. Anything related to command prompt, anything related to Windows application, we will call those applications are called as desktop or standalone application. You all got the point? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
now coming to the next point. Before I'm going to talk about another application, I'm going to create a diagram. See here, I have a paint. Sir, I want to see the portfolio of eStore project. Assume you have a eStore project here. The project is eStore project, right? Will this eStore project accessed by everybody or a particular user? eStore project can be accessed by everyone or multiple user. Can anyone tell me?
Yes, sir. It's multiple users.
Yes,
eStore project will be accessed by multiple user. Okay. So if it is a multiple user, what type of application I need to build on this project?
Web application.
Web application.
To access multiple users, we need to develop web-based application. Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
We need
sir.
to develop web-based application.
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear with my point? Say yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes, sir.
If I need to develop web application, what type of servers I need? If I need to develop web application
Web servers.
in
No, sir.
production,
Mm.
I need to have a web server, right? So what is web server here? This is your web server. This is your web server. In the web server, I have an application has been installed. Application 1, application 2, application 3. I can have multiple applications. You got the point? So in a single web server, third point, in a single web server, I can deploy multiple web application. Do you all agree or not? Can I deploy only one application or I can deploy multiple applications?
Yes, sir. We can deploy multiple.
I can deploy
Multiple applications.
multiple web applications. Or you got my point? Let's take an example here. I deployed a eStore project. I deployed a eStore project. I deployed here XYZ project. And I deployed here Swiggy project, something like that, Swiggy portal. Is it possible in a single web server?
Yes, sir. It's possible. Multiple applications we can deploy.
Multiple applications we can deploy. Sir, whenever the application is deployed, you need to have a database, right, to store the data. See, let's take an example of eStore. eStore has 3 different type of users. One is store user, another one is end user, another one is admin user. To maintain this data, what you require?
Database is required.
That database is going to be stay here. This database is going to be stay here. This database will be going to stay here. Or you got my point? So what is the database of this? Say example, eStore database. Okay, here you will have XYZ database. Here you will have Swiggy database. Okay, so every application have an individual database or a same database?
Individual database.
Why do we need a individual database? Because we need to maintain individually.
Yeah.
Okay, now what you need to do? eStore will connect to the eStore database. XYZ will connect to the XYZ database. Swiggy will connect to the Swiggy database. Now, coming to the point. Sir, I had deployed a eStore project in the web server. So what is this name? This entire stuff will be called it as what? What is this? What is this entire stuff?
Web server.
Super. Web server. This will be called it as web server. So how many applications I deployed in a single web server as of now?
As of now, 3.
As of now, 3 we deploy.
3 applications. Super. So now the point here is I have 4 clients in my 4 clients are accessing. This is your client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4. How many clients are accessing? These are all the different client missions.
4 clients.
Client 1 can access eStore, can also access Swiggy. Is it possible?
Yes, it's
With the
possible.
different
sir.
browsers.
Yes.
Somebody is speaking. Come again. Somebody is speaking. Okay, fine. So the client 2 can access XYZ and Swiggy. So a single client can access multiple users. Or you got my point? So can I say this entire will be called it as a clients, web clients? Say yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
Can I say these are all called as a web clients? I got my point. Now tell me what is the type of architecture it is? What type of architecture we can call this entire stuff?
3-layer architecture as of now.
Come again.
3-layer architecture, sir. Then user we have on database and server.
Can I say this is a client server architecture? Client server architecture. See, I'm not, layers will come only within the project. If you take a e-store project, you will have different layers. You understand my point?
Okay, sir.
Here, it is an architecture where I have multiple machines connecting to each other. How are you going to maintain your application? How are you going to, user will access the application? First, you need to understand, when you develop any project, where your project going to be sit. Is it in a server or is it in your computer local? Whatever we are developing with respect to web technology, we always go and deploy in server. Do you all agree with this point?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Everybody. Forget about what technology you are learning, what application you are developing. First, you need to understand how the application communication is happening from client to server and server to client. Once you understand that, then come back to the layering architecture. So that is why I defined what is a desktop application, what is client server architecture. Now come back to my notes. Now tell me, what is client server architecture? You have to give me points. Client server architecture. You have to say, tell me your points. What you understand in this diagram?
We have a multiple clients which we can connect with one of the web server to get the database access. Whatever we have in individual databases.
Okay, that is okay. What you are saying, multiple applications deployed in a single server. That's what you are telling, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Super. Single server. That is okay. What is the next point? Second point, web client makes a request. Web client makes a request. Web server detect the request, processing the request, and generating the response. Am I right or wrong? Generating the response, then send back to client machine. Will all agree with this point?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That it does not
Back to-
accidentally get stuck.
Send back the response to the web client. Think in a technical standpoint. Think basically as a technical standpoint. When technically you make a request, from web client to eStore, and you make a request to eStore, what will happen? eStore will detect that request, process the request, and then send the response back to the client. Am I right or wrong? You are going for a bank. Think yourself as a client. You are going for a bank. Think yourself as a client. You got the point? When you go to the bank, will you get the information immediately? First, you need to raise a request to the bank executive saying that I want to know my loan detail, or I want to know some information. What will happen? That guy will talk to you. Saying that I want this information, They will go back from the backend, they will process your request, they will generate a response. That response will come and give it to you. Am I right or wrong? Not only bank, you go any government sectors. By applying Aadhaar card or by applying hospital, if you go to hospital, anywhere you go, this is the normal process. Am I right or wrong?
Yes. Yes.
Agreed or not, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Agreed, sir.
Okay, the same way technology works. The same way technology works. If you can understand your real-time everyday life end-to-end activity, you can easily map your technology. You understand? Learning technology is very easy if you are map your use cases with your day-to-day activity. The moment you start map your day-to-day activity with your technology, learning technology is not a big deal. You all agree with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Everybody has to say, not
Yes,
only
sir.
one person.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You all created a confidence first of all. So now coming to the point, what is microservice architecture? See, anybody want take a screenshot and put it in the group, this one? Someone can do this. Once done, let me know. Anyone can do this?
I have taken, sir. I will.
Fine. Thank you. Now coming back, I am opening a new one. Don't save. Now you see here, assume I had a eStore project in the server. Okay, this is my server. This is my server. Okay, in this server, I deployed a eStore project. And that eStore project has a database. Okay, listen carefully. This is most important. I had a eStore project in my server. Okay. Now tell me what all the functionality eStore project can have. Any eStore project you will have user creation. Am I say user module? Say yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir.
Second one is product module. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys. You have to
Yes.
speak. What are all the modules we can have in the eServer, eStore project?
User
Customer module.
Customer module. Okay. What else?
Admin module.
Forget about that modules. Okay. Main functionality you tell. Payment. And then
registration
module. How many modules we have here in this application as of now?
5.
5 modules. If all the 5 modules are going to interact with a single database. Understand this? I created a single application and that application will going to talk to the eStore database. Let's say I give one scenario. You tell me how to handle that situation. My user module is working fine. My product module is working fine. My customer module is working fine. My payment module is working fine, except dispatch module. Or you got my point?
Okay.
If the dispatch module has an error, whether my entire eStore application will go down or only the dispatch module will go down.
Only dispatch
Or
module will go
dispatch.
down.
How? How? Assume I created a single project. Think it is a single eStore project. I had all the 5 modules in a single project. User module, product module, customer module, payment module, dispatch module, which are integrated together.
That
I got my
time down to the server.
Total application will go down. Total application go down. Or you got my point? If the application go down, what will happen? It will take 3 days to fix, something like that. It will take 3 days to fix. Do I lose the business or not? 3 days of my
Business loss.
transaction will be lost. Is it a right design, or is it a good design, or is it a bad design?
Bad is it.
That is
Right? Because the architecture is monolithic. Architecture is what lithic?
monolithic.
Monolithic.
Monolithic architecture. Okay, now you all understand what is monolithic architecture? What is monolithic architecture?
Dependency like that.
First point, I need to deploy, I need to build all functionality in a single application. Okay, if there is any issue occurred in particular module, the entire application will stall. The entire application will be stalled. Stalled means what? Stopped. Technically, people will call stalled. Okay. If the entire application will be stopped. To avoid this situation, we need to suggest any project or a product will be a microservice architecture. All understand my point? What is the purpose of microservice architecture? You all understand? What is the purpose of microservice architecture? You need to speak. You
We
should
have
not
a
be
multiple.
idle.
We have a multiple modules, correct, sir, now, as of now, like user model and these all things, correct. Now it will be turned into single piece of code, then it will run individually. Then if something is failed, now that particular section only it will fail, remaining all thing will work. That's the thing we are doing based on our microservice architecture. Correct?
Super. Now you got the point?
Yes,
In
Everybody got the point?
microservices, one service will have its own database, right?
Yes, I'm coming there. I'm going for that particular diagram. Now the same architecture, I'm just writing done. Now what I'm saying, this is my user API. Anything related to users, okay, hold on a second. This is my, here I'm putting, this is my user API. Okay, where you will maintain only user details. User API. Here you will have a product API. What API you are having here? Product API. Product API. Okay. Here you will have a
Customer API.
not required. No, customer is not required. Payment API. Assume something I want to make a payment or order confirmation, something like that. Okay. Just make a order API which contain everything. Order API. And one more, I'm going to have a dispatcher API. I'm going to have a dispatcher API. Dispatcher API. Every individual API has a independent database. Every individual API has a what database? Independent database. Why do I need an independent database? I don't want to mix my APIs into anything. So that I'm going to have a user DB, product DB, order DB, dispatcher DB. Now, sir, here Here, I have a tab. Here I have a computer. This is my computer. This is my computer. Okay. This is my tab. Can I access these APIs in any of the devices or not? I have a tab here. I have mobile here. Can I access any of my device? These APIs? Say yes or no?
Yes.
Away from the doors.
Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So to handle all these things, I'm using API. Sir, can I call this computer can call each API individually? No. What we will do is we will build a API gateway. This is your API gateway. In .NET, we will have a concept called Ocelot API gateway. Ocelot API gateway. We'll discuss that. Don't worry. Okay. So now API gateway will talk to each and every API independently. API gateway will talk each and every API independently. That independency will be comes into picture. Now you see, I have a problem with dispatcher. Will my API gateway working will stop?
No.
Will work.
It
Will
will
work.
work.
Why? Because my user is not disturbed, my product is not disturbed, my order is not disturbed. There is a chance of 20 to 30% of my business will go down. Business will go down because of dispatcher. If I'm going for a monolithic, 100% my business will go down. Now you see the difference of between a monolithic and microservices. Now you all understand why do we go for everybody talking microservice nowadays?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody understand?
Yeah,
Sir,
explain.
is it possible to create a complete microservices in ASP.NET MVC Core without Angular?
We can do it, but nowadays, see, I will tell you how this microservice comes into picture. In early 2000, 2001, I can give you a brief. Probably you can think you guys, okay? In early 2000, 2004, 2005, we don't have a concept called APIs. We have a concept called web services. Okay. Web services in the sense, any application will interact with two different applications, means with the help of XML. Over a period of time, what happened that XML will have a TCP protocol with the normal JSON objects and everything. And then they converted everything into RESTful services. When you come into RESTful services, it's all become a API calls. It's more easy that any JavaScript or Angular or React can easily get the data from that application to this application. All you see, this user interface may be Angular or React or Vue.js. Okay. Even you can have a simple plain HTML JavaScript also. No worry about it. Nobody is going to worry about that. The end goal is they are going to design calling an API. This UI will call an API. Understand? Who is asked the .NET?
Yes, sir.
Ramurajan, right? Ramu. The
Yes,
point
sir.
here is
So that Angular, React, or it can be a Razor View also, right?
whatever it may be.
Okay.
You can call a Razor View also.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going to worry about it. In Razor View, you need to write a little bit of JavaScript.
Yes, JavaScript, yes.
Okay, but that is not advisable. That era was gone. If any project which is older, probably that time people are using. Now, whatever the project we are developing right now, people are using these two, Angular or React. You are talking in the era of 2017 and 18. Within an Angular, they will deploy, within a ASP.NET MVC core, they integrated the Angular installation. In that, they will call a JSON object with the jQuery.
Okay.
Understand?
Hmm.
Before Angular framework comes into picture, in ASP.NET application, in ASP.NET MVC itself, they will deploy or they will install Angular source code. That means the necessary packages they build with the Racer as an Angular component. That is olden era. That is gone. That chapter is gone by 2020. Now everybody started building, even it is a .NET application or Java application or Python API, everybody started building Angular or React. Okay.
Yes.
Are you
got it.
working on any ASP.NET with the Angular project right now?
Yes, sir. I'm working.
You understand, right? Say they used to
Yes.
have Angular ASP.NET MVC. They will install Nugget package of Angular. On top of that, they will build.
Sir, but like suppose I'm having ASP.NET MVC, right? So directly the view is getting generated. So then means again Angular, like Angular is also creating the view, right? Then why I either I have to use ASP.NET Web API in backend and Angular in frontend, or means my question is like
I
view is
understand.
getting created.
I will tell you. Again, I need to tell one more point here. Probably I will discuss that one in detail by tomorrow. See, if we use Java application or a .NET application, if you take an example of IRCTC, okay, Ramu.
Yes.
If you take an IRCTC application, whenever you make a request, that IRCTC will add a flickering, right? You will get a white screen and go. When you
Yes.
click,
Yes.
okay, if you take a Swiggy portal in your browser, will that flickering can able to see that?
No.
Why? What is the difference? Both are built-in applications, right? Different technologies. Why the
Yes.
flickering happen in IRCTC? Why not it is in Swiggy portal? In IRCTC, the UI also render in server.
Oh, okay.
Yes, good.
You understand my point?
Got it, sir.
If you use MVC, ASP.NET MVC core, the request will be processed where?
In the server side.
In the server side. Till that time, browser will be
It is the unresponsive browser.
unresponsive browser. Now coming to the
Okay.
React or Angular, my UI will be rendered in, my UI will execute in browser or UI will execute in the client?
Browser.
Browser. So, will you able to see a flickering?
No.
It may wait for data, but flickering may not happen.
Okay, so you are saying that if I'm using MVC, so the HTML is getting generated on the server side, then at that time this is unresponsive. UI is unresponsive, right?
It is not unresponsive. It has certain limitage of loading the UI. That is called flickering. It is not unresponsive. Unresponsive is nothing but responsiveness is something different. Flickering is something different. Responsive in the sense, the
Yes.
same URL I need to access in all the different devices with the different pixels.
Okay.
Or you got my point? Let's take
Yes,
a
sir.
Swiggy portal.
Mm-hmm.
In your laptop, the application UI will be same. It should not break UI. If you are loading in your tab, it should not break. If you are loading in your mobile also, it should not break the UI. You got the
Okay.
point?
Yes, sir.
That
Got
is
it.
called responsiveness. Now, what we are talking is flickering. Flickering is simple. You make a request. The request will be processed in the server. Till such seconds, the flickering is happening, right? Nowadays,
Sir, flickering means exactly means what?
white screen.
It's loading something, correct?
Loading white screen. Until the
Okay.
page will be completely rendered, you will see a white screen. Let me show you. You see this? See, it is taking time to load.
Yes, yes.
irctc.com. Is it immediately getting? It is taking time to load. It should come fraction of seconds. Understand my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because this HTML content, everything will be executed where? Generating where?
Server.
Server. Till such time you see, you go and click on this. See, it is taking time.
Yes, yes.
There is a white screen, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So that is
That is
flickering.
called a flickering.
Oh,
Now, if
okay.
you take Swiggy portal, you won't see a flickering, one-time loading. See?
Mm.
Now you click on this, your page is not loading, but it is waiting for the data. Is it disturbing a flickering here?
No, so the page is loaded once, but the data is on demand, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
That is
SPA.
the
This is only
idea
SPA.
behind it. Come again?
This is only SPA, na? Means SPA means this is only na one-time page loading.
This is not SPA, it is building using SPA. Okay, single page
Okay.
application. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
When you learn Angular, you will understand.
Okay, 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 okay. Got it. Flickering.
Okay. So most of the microservice architecture, be it to be a .NET or be it to be Angular or be it to be a Python, microservice architecture is the best. Clear my points? Everybody clear with that?
Yes.
Clear, sir.
Raghavendra, Raju,
Yes.
anybody have any questions?
No.
Anybody have any questions and concerns, queries? Feel free to ask.
Sir,
I'm
then
done with today.
why we are learning MVC, right? Then we should only run web API and Angular directly. Then why temp data, view data, MVC? Because as you said that the page is getting loaded on the server side, then it is delay, na?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Any project, okay, any application, you are working for a particular business, right? You are building application only for a business purpose, right?
Yes.
Always Angular will go for external customers. Angular or these things. Building Angular with the response UI, it will take a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead, whenever a person is make an order, somebody has to approve from the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand my point?
Yes.
That approval application will be ASP.NET because it is internal. Let the flickering can happen. I don't want to invest much money on that.
Okay.
Or you got my point?
Okay.
So a person who can able to build an administrator related application using .NET, a person who can able to build a user related build application also with an architecture of microservice.
Mm.
You understand my point?
Yes. Means it
So
depends on the business.
it purely depends on the business. As an architect of an organization, I will think what is my business, what type of architecture I need to build, what type of technology I need to build. It is purely my decision. With my management, I will convince. I will say this is the architecture I'm going with. You understand my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I see where to invest more money. I see where not to invest more money. If I have more customers, which user friendliness is needed, I will invest more money on that. If I don't have a customer which is internally used, I don't want to invest much money on that. Is it a valid or is it invalid?
Valid.
Anyway, whatever you are developing which is related to cost, always think in mind, as a developer, as a leader, team lead, you are okay. You only think about technology. If you are going layer to layer, layer to layer, layer to layer, you need to think in perspective of cost. If I invest the money, what is the return I'm going to take it from the application? You all got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So learning
Okay,
MVC
let's
is
say
good.
let's say example. I'm investing $10,000 on a particular project for the year. Okay, it's investing in terms of developers, investing in terms of infrastructure, investing in terms of maintaining the database, Azure cloud, everything. Everything is a cost, right? The same application by the end of year, am I going to generate the such kind of revenue on that application or not? If I'm not getting that much of revenue, do I need this application to develop?
No.
Any company, what is required for? Mainly any company look for what?
Money, revenue.
Okay, for generating the revenue, what they need? Four key information they need. What are all those? Data. Am I right? Tell me what are all the data any organization predominantly look for? Think practically, what data a company will look for? Their name, their phone number, their Aadhaar number, their PAN card. Am I right? At least their name and phone number is most important thing, right? Any organization. Because how they do business with others? They do business with others with the help of phone number. Let's take an example. Every day you are getting a call from banks saying that take personal loan, take credit card. How they are collecting that data? How they are collecting the data and calling back us with the name and all those things? Because the exchanging of data from one organization to another organization may happen, may not happen. Okay. So these people are collecting data with the different sources. We are almost 1.70 crore people in the world, in India, right? Everybody number at least somewhere in the system it will be stored. People will take and understand my point. To maintain all these data, we need servers and applications. Think your project or programming language that you are going to work as a data. The moment you start thinking in terms of data, learning technology is not a big deal. You all agree with this point?
Yes.
SSV,
Yes,
senior most person.
Yes,
You all
sir.
agree?
Yes, sir.
Sai Krishna,
Yes, sir.
Raghavendra,
Yes, sir.
Ravi,
Yes, sir.
Ishwar T.
Yes, sir, I agreed, sir.
Okay? That's all, guys, for today. We'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you,
thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.